They're representing the Queen. Even, that sort of stuff.
So we've got Mitchell Johnson here.
Yeah.
How about you put the pads on and just take
Anyway,
him
we're on
through
to comms.
You were going to try and get Liam Gallagher in here. There's no point, mate. I can do that.
The mentality to play hard cricket for longer has to arrive here on day one.
You'll all be aware of a story that's broken just in the last few hours. There's no evidence, substance or justification to these allegations.
Tails was Joe's call. Tails it is.
We're going to bat first.
Mitchell start, no surprise to bowl to Alistair Cook in his 150th Test match. And that's a good start for Stark. Some damage too, Jeff Boycott. There's a little reminder immediately of the bounce in this wicket, and there's a little bit of pace there for the Aussie quicks.
Mate, it's been deluxe. There's nothing better than being down here at the WACA, the Ashes, Australia versus England. In case you guys back in England don't know what the Ashes is. More than that,
apart from the English are putting us asleep on the field.
and they've made one key mistake. They've thought we need to adapt to the Australian pitches, not used to the Australian way of what you do at a pub. They have to remember to behave themselves. They're representing the Queen. Even, that sort of stuff. That's the mistake they've made.
55 unbroken now, this partnership.
There we go, there we go. There's the maiden Test match century for David Malan. Magnificent effort.
Super knock, super effort, and trust me, he won't have many better feelings in his life than that. Off comes the helmet, acknowledging his teammates back in the dressing room and all the fans around the WACA. We've witnessed a terrific innings here from David Malan.
Well, what a day for England, what a day for David Malan.
How does that feel?
Over the moon, to be honest. Pretty emotional about it.
I was impressed with the way everybody that came in seemed to try and manoeuvre the off-spinner around.
It wasn't about running down hitting for six and trying to hit boundaries of every ball, but it was to rotate him, and especially when we have the right and left-hander in, to make sure we get 2 or 3 singles.
Super. Well,
You don't know how rare that is, by the way.
And just tell us, as you walked up the stairs, you gave someone a kiss. Who was that?
Yeah, my mum and dad flew over, so probably made it more emotional. So
Sitting on that chair, watching cricket for the last 4 hours, that was the hardest bit, I can assure you.
Well, here we are in Optus Stadium, brave new world, getting a foretaste tonight of what coming to the West will be like. Having spent many years of coming to the WACA, I've gotten very used to its sort of slightly shambolic, down at heel circumstances. And this is about as far removed from that as you could possibly get. It's not obviously a cricket ground, is it? It's a sort of a pleasure dome, if you like. Well, we lose a bit of a sense of locality. We could be anywhere in the world, whereas the WACA has always been very distinctive. It's always had that rather raw frontier feel. It's not state of the art as far as creature comforts are concerned, but it has things like wind. You won't get a lot of wind in here. You'll get Wi-Fi, but you won't get wind.
Goes after it, and there it is. Johnny Bairstow. It'll just be one, but Ashes history. Take a bow, Johnny Bairstow.
Brilliant Bairstow. Look at what it means to him. He's absolutely over the moon. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He loves playing for England like no other man.
I've seen most of his innings. I thought this was the best one he's played. He never gave a chance, never looked like getting out. And I thought he played with a real lot of common sense, judged the ball well. And before he batted the first morning, I said, look, just play your own game,
I don't tell you to play like me or anybody else. But the best advice I can give you is don't hook. And if you get in, make it big, make 100. Pretty 20s and 30s don't win test matches. He's done exactly that. Didn't hook, and he got 100. Maybe I should talk to him more. I love him lots.
Not swinging, which it doesn't do over here. You have to find a way of negating the threat of Warner and Steve Smith, because they're the two world-class protagonists for Australia. The problem is they can't find something to nullify Steve Smith unless it swings.
The Australian captain has played very nicely indeed.
It's just slightly over pitched and Smith accepts it. Brings up his 50. With his 8th four, it's just off 58 deliveries.
It was England's day on day one, Australia's day 2. Another wonderful day of Test match cricket.
Oh, here we go.
He's come ready. Look at it. Here's someone that's still playing. On the shore. There we go. Look at us.
So what are you doing here?
I'm just
We're doing fast bowling runs, so what are you doing here?
Because eventually I'll just say, well, you know, they waste all that energy coming in as a batsman, you just do this. What a waste of energy.
Well,
speaking of
that, I reckon to finish this masterclass, we've got Mitchell Johnson here.
Yeah.
How about you put the pads on and just take
Anyway, we're on to comms.
Well, the run-up is probably one of the most important things, I feel, and you need to get the right pace. I worked with Dennis Lilly coming back from my toe injury in 2011, and you know, we actually would run with my eyes closed and get that feeling of the run-up. So for me to bowl a bouncer, it's an extra effort ball as well. So you really have to be focused on pulling that front arm down and getting through. So that's sort of like bending your back in a way, that finishing off.
Left hand or right hand? What are we going for now?
We'll say it's Broady.
Stuart Broad's on strike.
Maybe
it's always Broady. It's always Broady.
We just fished. We got it.
Good luck, Stu.
Don't get on the front foot, Stu.
Oh, that's get out of the way of that. Sway, duck and leave.
Dale Steyn was a guy that I look. He's got a really good front arm because he gets it going forward, and that momentum. I needed that at one point because I was going back like that. So I watched him a little bit. Very different bowlers, but he gets his arm out there, so that was a cue for me. So yeah, it doesn't matter who you are, you're always learning.
Well, there it is. Double century for the Australian skipper. Special innings.
Special is the best way to describe it, Vaughnie. It has been nothing short of sensational.
Fidgeting away as he does, that's his characteristics.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been watching Steve Smith pretty closely for 4 or 5 years now, and how he's changed and developed his game, and where he went from someone that looks sort of all out of sorts at test level to someone that looks the most complete test player we've probably all seen in a long time. You know, his appetite for runs, from what I've seen, is almost second to none. I mean, him and Virat Kohli right now are the two guys that when they get in and make scores, they go on and make really big scores and look almost impossible to get out. You know, he's taken his game to another level that's, I think, right now probably superior to anybody else that's playing the game around the world. So you can't see it finishing. It is, you know, I was just saying to the CA guys outside, if there was timeless tests these days, he'd be just batting until and forever and ever and ever. And that's, the sky's the limit. I think all of us through our careers have had, you know, players that we've tried to chase and be as good as and score as many runs as and things like that. And you know, I had Lara and Tendulkar and those sort of guys that I was always trying to chase, and now Joe and a few other players around the world have got Steve Smith to chase. So I think that's a really positive thing for the world game.
That's the way to deal with it. Do the conga. Look at the England fans. Well, that's the early rain dance for the rain. That's the way. They'll be doing that all night.
fans in the world now. We took 1 wicket all day and we've made all the noise.
So why are you still here?
For the atmosphere. We'll stop hearing about the cricket about lunchtime.
That's the end, Steve Smith. He's seen enough.
There's just a sprinkle of rain starting to land around the place.
So I'm about to go in and do a stint on Triple M Radio. Triple M Radio is basically lads radio in Australia.
239, England trailing by 220 for Discovery.
Can you give us a bumble?
Oh, he's a cracking bloke, you know, David Lloyd. He's a super player. I think there, you know, James Vince, even though he drives nicely, can't tell will nick off outside the off stump. You were going to try and get Liam Gallagher in here. There's no point, mate. I can do that. What's this then? Cricket's rubbish, isn't it? Just in the sun, you should be drinking, mate, on the hill. Banging. You know what I'm saying? Garbage. What they want Justin White for? Not having it. As you were.
There he's gone. That's a beauty. That's an absolute cracker. Wide of the crease, angling, nip away.
That is unplayable. Wait till you see this replay.
The rest is history. Smashes into the furniture, the flashing bails.
The rain now is really hammering down.
This Perth gets more like Scarborough every minute, raining all the time, coming in off the sea.
All sorts of confusion. Some farcical situations have taken place here at the WACA this morning. But we're getting close to the start of day 5.
I just find it bizarre that you're going to be starting a test match in these conditions in 7 or 8 minutes' time, while the ground staff are still with the hover blowers. Oh, bowled him straight away. Straight through Bairstow. First ball from that end.
It's a sad and sorry story again for England.
There you go, Australia regain the Ashes.
It's that man Cummins got the breakthrough.
Just got more aggression, more potency with their attack. England have tried, they've given it everything, but they've just not been good enough.
Well done to Stephen Smith and his men.
Really disappointing. I think throughout the 3 games we've played some really good cricket, just not for long enough periods of time, and those crucial moments have Australia have really grasped those, and fair play to them. That can be the difference sometimes.
You mentioned those ruthless moments. Is there a reason why you've not been able to kind of grab the game in those situations?
Maybe at times a bit of lack of experience. I think as well, sometimes things can slip away from you without you sort of realising, and maybe we needed to be a little bit smarter on occasions.
He's an Aussie captain, home soil, as quick as you could, 3 matches, bang, bang, bang.
Absolutely. So much has gone into the preparation for this Ashes series, and we know how much it means to everyone here in Australia.
Have you played with a better or more skilled group of fast bowlers in your time in the Australian team?
No, they're absolute superstars. All 3 of those guys, and Nathan Lyon, who I think's bowling as well as I've seen him bowl, have done a terrific job to get us 20 wickets in the last 3 Test matches.
How good a night might the boys have, and will it be that good that it could affect the performance in Melbourne?
I reckon I can answer that for you.